All right, this is a record here on the Sensibly Cynical podcast. A whole band. Now, I've had a band on, but like 2 or 3 people. But this is the whole gang here. A pop rock band a pop punk band. Get that out of the way. Out of Denver, Colorado. Years down. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you having us.
So let me start with the drummer because you can't have, like I was saying off air, you can't, it's the key is the drumming. Would you guys agree? Like without a good drummer, like the shit doesn't go together right.
Yeah, I would say probably not.
Hold on,
So talk about the history of the band. Whoever wants to go first, that's fine. Like, how'd you guys start?
Oh man. All right. Well, I used to play in a different band with another guitar player. He wanted to get back into it, so we started this band. We got Griff on board. Had a bunch of members change out, and I don't know. Long story short, now we're here where we're at. But Griff's been our lead singer from the beginning, and we've had Dylan come in, Sterling come in, and Rob come in too. So basically, it's been me and Griff from the beginning, starting out.
Now, you guys are familiar with The Fray, right?
Yeah.
They're also from Denver, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys get questions about them or anything, or no?
I get them all the time.
Yeah. So do you got high opinions of them, or are they your type of influences?
I mean, I haven't even heard one of their songs in a long, long time. I know they were super popular back in the day, but I think their drummer went to my high school because I remember my jazz band teacher talking about him because he was like his prodigy, I guess. His success story. Yeah, his success story.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm 36, so I remember them when I was younger. But like over my head, I think is their number one.
I thought that was I didn't
remember. Did you guys start in 2019? I would assume. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was like 2019.
Yeah, it's about thereabout.
So Griffin, do you remember the first concert you guys had, like vividly?
Yeah, it is burned into my memory forever.
So talk about that. I was at night, day. Talk about it.
It was pretty brutal. This is actually, you might not believe it, but this is my first band ever. And that was my first show ever performing in front of anyone outside of just like doing choir and stuff like whenever I was younger and in high school, middle school, stuff like that. So I was pretty much a wreck.
We played at the venue.
Yeah, we played at the venue, the illustrious venue in Lakewood, Colorado.
Of course.
It was as you would have expected. It was not spectacular, but I'd like to think I've improved. I still can't jump on time, but that's okay.
Well, you've improved enough to go to Arizona, so there's that. Do you guys also go to California, or talk about like how far you guys go, Dylan? Like proximity.
So our second tour of the band was in March, April. When was it?
One of those.
It was in
One
June.
of them.
It was in June, a few months ago. Yeah, over
last year.
It's all just numbers and letters. It's fine. But yeah, we hit Utah. Unfortunately, we went through Nevada. We hit Reno there. Tempe, Arizona.
Nice.
And then San Diego and Oakland, California. And then our first tour was in Texas.
Okay. So talk about life on the road. It's not too glamorous, is it? Or is it?
No, it's not glamorous at all.
So where do you talk about you gotta get all the luggage? How long does it take to get from, when you're done with the venue, how long until the next site? Do you guys go straight through on a bus, take cars? Talk about the whole process.
Oh god, dude. So our first tour we took Ben's 4-door pickup. The one we just finished, we managed to get a van somehow. I'm not really sure how we looked
Sterling
that
got
out.
it.
Yeah, Sterling
Yeah.
snagged up some luxury wheels.
It was not luxury.
But it was so much.
So
You
much
got to
better.
leave it to the bassist, right? Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have an interlock in my car, so I wasn't legally allowed to drive. So I got to just chill.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it just depends entirely on like if we've got like a tight turnaround to be like in the next state at the next show. We might leave the night before if we're lucky enough that we can kind of hang around. Like, you know, we'll just sort of make do. Like, for example, in San Diego, after our first show on tour, we ended up sleeping out on these super sick cliffs near a beach. We woke up to the sound of the waves in the morning. It ended up being a pretty cool night.
I take credit
So-
for that because the hotel reservation got fucked up. That was my fault. So they
How
don't
much?
let me book
Well,
hotels
hold on.
anymore.
The barometer is how much alcohol was drank. So I mean,
It's
Time for him.
wait.
fucked,
Do
dude.
we have
I
any?
haven't
Do we have any?
recovered.
Not to shame anybody. Do we have anybody that doesn't drink in the group?
I'm in
Good.
recovery.
That's good. That's good.
Raging heroin addict, and this shit keeps me sober. I've been sober for a few years now, 3 years and 8 months. So yeah,
That's good.
so I have no excuses except being stupid.
No, less alcohol, less hangovers. So it's always a good. That's always a good thing. Talk about better off.
System with like who the members were and what their influences were. The people that we used to work with had a lot of more classic pop punk, like, you know, Green Day.
Hmm. I was just gonna get that. You read my next question. I'm gonna let you finish, and then I have a next question.
For sure. And currently, like, I feel like a lot of our members, like, it's definitely, I mean, there's plenty of respect and reverence and enjoyment of like the classics, but there's also like a complete, you know, willingness to just like see what's new and out there and like really kind of get their feet in, like, because I mean, pop punk now is like such a broad term in terms of what it covers and what bands are doing. Like, you have people like Knuckle Puck being called pop punk. You've got, you know, Hot Mulligan, even though if you were being like a real genre nerd, you'd call it Midwest emo, but most people just call it pop punk. And like,
Yeah.
same with Wilmot and, you know, fucking Turnstile and stuff like that. And it's
Mhm.
just, it's such a big tent now, I feel like.
Yeah, well,
So,
in 2008, I dated this like emo chick, and she got me into like bands like My Chemical Romance, him, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Boyfriend Valentine. I'm more of a like, I grew up on like rap and stuff like that from like because I'm in Florida and like near the Georgia border. So like I grew up on like rap, but until I met the emo chick, I was like, all right, I see where she's coming from. And then of course Blink 182. But okay, I got 3 bands here that when I was listening to music, I saw hints of all 3 of these. We'll see if you agree or disagree. Okay, you can show me up and say, what the hell is this guy talking about? We don't sound anything like these people. All right, so the first one, My Chemical Romance. Would you agree there's hints of them in your music? No.
feeling
Hold on,
high.
the second.
I'm the outlier just because I fucking don't like them, man. These guys do.
Okay, so the second one is Good Charlotte. I definitely hear Good Charlotte in you guys. That's definitely there. And then Green Day. But the only reason why I say My Chemical Romance is because you have that when you go like when the drummer goes like really hard, it sounds just like the My Chemical Romance sped up. That's all I mean. I don't mean the vocals. I meant like the hard stuff is very similar.
Nice. We'll
so-
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, My Chemical Romance is one of those like polarizing bands. You know what I mean?
They're great. He doesn't know
Stop
what he's talking
talking.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, definitely. I think we all agree.
They're a hot topic for some reason. What about them is like?
It's like where we got our jingle or wait, our trick jingle.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't offend you guys and making you regret taking this interview by bringing them up.
We're having fun.
So fun.
All right, so talk about influences. Ben as the drummer, like would you have a top drummer of all time?
I mean, before I got into pop punk, I was kind of a metalhead, so I listened to like a lot of Slipknot and Disturbed. So Joey Jordison,
God rest
he
his
was
soul.
definitely influenced me. And then when I got into pop punk, obviously Travis Barker,
Blink-182 was basically the catalyst to a lot of the sound we have now. So yeah.
Yeah, I can remember when Travis Barker started fucking around on like rap beats. Yeah, like Soulja
Yeah.
Boy, like that. When I
Remember
was
that
in high school.
album? Holy shit!
That was when I was kind of like, all right, this is
Let the drummer
yeah,
get some. That's what it was called. Let the drummer get some.
I would say
Yeah,
that's definitely
one of my favorite bands, Linkin Park, started get with Jay-Z and stuff like that. That rock has a history with rap music, like as far as collaborations. I didn't really know too much about it until like all of a sudden it seemed out of nowhere for me. Like, wait a minute, what? Like, it doesn't. Do you think that's like a seamless like parallels, or do you think it's kind of like a newer thing?
We'll let Rob take this because he wants to leave us for an emo rap band.
Like, do you think there's parallels in rap and rock? I guess that's a no.
No, there is.
No,
100%.
yeah.
You're a good person to answer this.
Why is that? I guess so. Yeah, I think there is in like all genres of music. I mean, you can experiment, and I don't know. I think what he's doing now, it's kind of super helpful to like the direction of pop punk. Even though I don't like a lot of it, but I think these crossovers with rap artists and stuff, it's kind of helped the pop punk genre get more to the mainstream. So I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
rap and rock kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm allergic
like
to
carrots and
peanuts.
peas.
Yeah.
Hot Cheetos.
Well,
We have Nothing Nowhere. There's like NF. There's there's a
Mhm.
few of mine.
Lil Peep.
what about who's in the bands of the five of you? Someone has to be a fan of Nirvana, right? Okay. Well, bands like that, right? Like Nirvana. What was the other? There's Deftones. Who likes Deftones? Am I naming good bands for you guys? All right. So that's like my first entry into rock music was bands like that. Like Deftones and Smashing Pumpkins.
Dude, the drummer of Nirvana looks exactly like the Foo Fighters guy. It's so nice.
It smells like Teen Spirit. I used to play that shit all the time, bro.
We play that shit sometimes during practice when we're like our ADHD kicks in. We'll play it in 35
And then you
seconds.
throw a breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll ask Sterling this. I'll give him one. How has the music scene changed in the last like year or so with social media? Like, are you guys a big social media group?
We're trying to be.
Yeah.
I think social media is kind of like make it or break it right now. Honestly, like especially with TikTok and that, like you see a bunch of bands that are making it from their TikToks. Like what's that one band?
Action Adventure.
Action Adventure. So they posted those videos with like some of their music, and they took off from there. So it's definitely a big influence in how you make it or break it.
Well,
I mean,
I was
honestly,
talking.
to the point where you can like be in a successful band without even playing a show. Just posting
Yeah.
stuff like that. True.
Well, I was talking to this pop artist, and she's into the QR codes. Have you guys heard this thing? Where all she does now is she hands out like QR codes. You guys know what QR codes are, obviously, right?
Yeah,
And you just scan the code, and then they get the information like right off the. That's what you guys need to do. QR codes, just hand them out.
We actually have that.
That's
Yeah.
one of our.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
I'm way behind. I'm way behind. You have to send me one.
Yeah, whenever I go to shows, especially like with bigger bands that we all enjoy, like Belmont, Newfound Glory, the Wonder Years, stuff like that, I always make sure and have like a back pocket full of like stickers. And,
I'm late to this QR code deal. I had no idea these things were even around.
It's super handy.
Yeah. All right. So this new song, right? It just came out February. Was it middle of February, right?
17.
Shades of Grey. Who wants to take the lead on this song? Who's I guess the vocalist? Griffin?
Griff-
How is
yeah,
this one like? How is this one different from Better Up? Like, is it this one seems way more fast paced? Am I right?
So this was like something that I can't remember if Dylan came up with the riff or if we were
wrote
just
it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think
wrote
you
the
did.
song.
Yeah.
Dylan wrote the song and then
It was
Nice.
supposed to be a love song, remember?
oh yeah, this was supposed
It
to
seems really fast paced, man.
this was originally supposed to be a love song that Dylan wrote, and he sent it
Really?
yeah, he sent it to me, and I was like, man, the instrumentals do not match these lyrics at all. Sad song. I'm gonna write a sad song for this.
Says the guy
And he
who-
was
I
kind of
like it a lot, man. I like it a lot. It's a really good song.
I'm glad you like it. He was kind enough to let me use it. So
Talk ab-
the collectives. Lyrically, in terms of like what I was going for, it's just more of the same. Not to sound redundant, but just sort of some of the stuff that I struggle with in terms of like, being mentally unwell and like wanting to share that with other people, but feeling uncomfortable doing so, and attempting to, just sort of push through and persevere and pretend like everything's okay, even when it's not. And that's kind of like
Right.
what a lot of the lyric content in terms of like the images I try and conjure up and stuff like that are just sort of like somebody that's like kind of falling apart, but like, still trying to make it. And,
Mhm.
it kind of like, I feel like the whole EP that we're getting ready to release this spring is sort of like its own story of like whether or not the person that's writing them is gonna, be able to pull through.
Right, right. Now, what's the hardest part about maintaining, I guess, traction in like the music industry? Is there like is there a part that's like really difficult, or is it, you know what I mean? Like, is there a part of this that's really, really hard to maintain, like the whole production?
Yeah,
Social media, the content.
and you get this too because you have
Oh, trust
your
me.
media relies on it too. Like social media is just you have to have it. There's like almost no choice at this point. So it's super exhausting to like kind of come up with like good content all the time, because we need to stay humble and faithful to these stupid algorithms that like control whether somebody gets any views or plays or not.
Yeah.
So that's the game right there, is learning how to navigate that properly.
And for me, I'm an interview podcast. So every other week I have to have a guest to keep this thing going. And sometimes it's harder to find guests than other times. but I have like I'll schedule out like a week or like a month in advance or whatever, And then what's nice about doing this for so long is that I have friends of friends that, hear about it and be like, hey, let me come on, So was it hard to get like talk about the Denver, Colorado scene? What's it like now, Rob? What's the scene like now? Is it like a bunch of bands? Is it hard to get traction?
I guess
Yeah, I mean, Rob's, what have you been in the scene for?
I'm relatively new to this. I don't know, not very long.
I mean, I feel like just in terms, I mean, and I know like I'm still super young in terms of like being involved with the scene out here. Like I think 3 years deep really isn't. Yeah. 5 years down,
Well,
3 years.
sometimes the new people are the best ones to ask because they're, they don't have, you know what I mean? Like a 10-year look at the thing. They can look right now and say, oh, we're doing this way better than the other people.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
if we're just being, completely judging on the moment, I would say like there's a whole hell of a lot of talent around town. Like it's not even a joke whenever you say that there's like good music going on almost every night of the week, and it seems like there's new bands coming up almost, every month. I'll hear about a new band that is just absolutely killing it, super, super talented, writing really, really passionate, good music, and just getting out there. Like the scene out here, I feel like is really, there's a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of friendship, there's a lot of, trying to help everyone help each other because, we're all poor and trying to struggle and figure it out. Like it's not cheap living out here. So, it's a lot of team.
Yeah, well, post-pandemic, what's the most common venue? Is it dive bars, or is it like, you know what I mean? Like, like underground concerts. Talk about what's the most common venue you guys have played at.
What I would say, like real
We played
venues.
Fiddler's Green once.
Yeah.
That was outside.
What's
Yeah.
the craziest? What's the craziest venue you guys have played at? Maybe that's a better question.
Dude, we won
Fiddlers.
Channel 93's big gig, so we got to help open up for some bands that we've all loved for decades, man. Like
A Day
to Remember, Jimmy Eat
Really?
World, huge influence.
Oh, hold on. Jimmy Eat World. I love Jimmy Eat World. I could grab their CD right now if I really wanted to.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm a big Jimmy Eat World fan.
Who else? Girlfriends, Silver
yeah,
Sun
Silver
Pickups.
Sun.
I mean,
The main. Yeah, it was an absolutely stacked show, and we were blessed to like.
Wow.
It was all voted based off of like people that had listened to the radio and that liked the song. So it was completely, crowdsourced, and we got to be up there with a lot of our good friends. Barry Mia, Suitableness, Capture This. Am I missing anyone?
Citra.
Oh yeah, Citra, but we didn't get to play alongside them. But
Oh, okay.
so yeah, it was a super sick day, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Now I know there has to be a prankster in the group. Do we have a prankster? Like who's the comedy guy? Oh, the guy who put his head down.
Pranks.
I'm
all
the-
jokes.
We got a
Sure.
drama.
Listen,
Like a drama
listen,
quick.
listen.
There has to be. You guys are on the road. There has to be a jokester.
I'm the funniest person in the band, for sure.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Funniest.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we've really done a lot of pranks on each other.
I think
But
we're
this
all
guy
kinda lame,
gets,
it sounds.
We're all too sad. So
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Like,
Yeah.
and we're one prank away from like 4 murder charges or murder suicide or something. You know, we're all on edge, tired, and we're already at our best. We're not very good.
The jokes,
Yeah.
the jokes come from the situation. It's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Jokes
Well,
are.
we talked about social media. Now, the opposite of that is obviously like ground word of mouth. Is that still a thing there? Is it all like strictly internet now, or is there still like flyers and stuff, or is that like stuck in the 80s, 90s? Like, is there word of mouth? Is that still a good method?
Yeah. Like I said, I'll go to shows, hand out our stickers and cards. We usually see like a lot of traffic because of it. Like we'll see, steady bumps whenever I go and just hand stuff out. Same with them. I mean,
I was gonna say you post on Reddit, but that's
I post on
social media.
constantly.
Oh, Reddit. I forgot about Reddit. Yeah.
One of my fiances, so my fiance's a teacher, and one of her students came up to her and told her that that they met Griff at a show, and he handed them a sticker. So pretty cool that is getting around. And we're up in,
real?
You
yeah,
think
we're up
that's
in, we're like 45 minutes to an hour away,
You know
and
what's
so
you know what's super nuts is I work at a residential rehab, treating like substance abuse. And that's like super important to me. But somehow it got around that like I was in a band, and then like we'll have the patients like saying, oh, I'm gonna check you out or come to a show or what have you, and they actually will show up at a show. It's happened a few times.
wow.
That's the
That's
coolest
cool.
shit. They're sober, and even like the nurses will be like, "Oh, I heard your new song," and I'm like, "I never even told you I'm in a band," so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm
Nurses
also
are-
in like I'm also in the healthcare. I'm also in the healthcare like field, and I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. Last couple questions I got. Whose idea was it to do the Stay remix? Whose idea? I like it. No, I'm just busting chops. I like it. You guys did really. Was that like just on the whim, or was that like a lot of prep behind it, or was it just wake up one day and we're like, we're gonna do a remix of this song?
Before I joined the band, I write a lot of stuff on my own, instrumentally wise. And I just kind of had it. It was something I was messing around with. And when I joined the band, I just showed it to him, like, hey, I have this. And Griff came over and worked on it. And yeah, we recorded and did everything in my bedroom. So yeah, I think it turned out really well.
You heard me scream and it was love.
There's a lot of A Day to Remember influence in that with the breakdown in the second verse. which is a huge influence on me.
Nice,
you
nice.
killed
Yeah.
it on that. We have a Lord cover now in the pipeline, which I'm excited for. 'cause
You have
I
a
love-
what? Hold on. Sorry. You have what?
Lord,
He's like,
Lord.
what?
Lord, like
I am
from
Lord.
South
Yeah,
Park.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, Lord.
Randy
You know, it's
Marsh.
from South Park.
Yeah, we have a-
All right, guys. We were talking about social media earlier. Where can people find you guys on social media?
We're a Years Down band. That's our website, and then we're Years Down on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're on Snapchat. These are literally
TikTok.
Yeah, if a closet's opening, we're there.
Oh, who's the TikTok person?
Heavy
Us,
Sterling. Mostly Sterling.
He brought these.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
if he
I'm the
is
one
a
who
TikTok.
posts like that's me on there, like posting random like Midwest shit to people yelling about stuff.
Mhm.
Like, the last one was the guy was Irish and he was yelling about weather, and then I just put and air conditioners, and then I just played sad emo music over it. So
Nice.
that's about kind of it.
And it's like the most random algorithm. Like I'll post like what I think is funny, and then it gets like no views, but then I'll post like some random shit that I put no effort into, and it'll get like 1,000 views. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Right?
Yeah, there's no science.
Like I
behind
did
it.
a meme to Intentions by Justin Bieber. Like I did a TikTok, and it got like 1,000 views, and I'm like, what the fuck is just Justin Bieber? Like I don't know, the Biebs.
Honestly,
Maybe,
I think
yeah.
he's
Need to post him on
I
my
don't know.
shit.
So,
But
so you talked about your EP. Are you going to give me any insight on the exclusive information on the EP?
Sorry, say that again.
No, I said you have the EP coming out soon. Do you have any information that you can, or
Oh.
any?
Next single music video drops the 24th of this month. We'll have one more single after that, and then the EP will be out in May. So be on
Nice,
the lookout.
all right.
There's gonna be some extra songs on there, and then we're planning on just trying to make it a super hot summer with all kinds of fun stuff.
There you go. Any other any concerts coming up soon, or any venues?
Midwest, we're doing a Midwest run. We'll be hitting Omaha, Des Moines, Chicago, Indianapolis. We're gonna be out there. Just keep an eye on the socials. Years
Okay.
down on those socials. On everything. On everything.
All
And we
right.
have a subreddit with 0 people.
All right. Well, this interview will create a spike. You know, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming on here this evening.
Thanks
Well,
for
thanks for
having
having
us.
us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
All
fun.
right.
Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
man. You guys have a good one, and keep me updated. All right.
Yeah,
For sure, man.
Will do.
Have a lovely night.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Thanks.